Hi everyone, it's Jeanette from Enthusiastic Gardener. I received this in the post from my fabulous friend who is Magnus. I'm thinking it's Magnus anyway because I don't know anyone else who lives in Sweden, and he has a wonderful channel and it's called Green Machine Sweden, and he has beautiful fish ponds and koi. He does amazing bonsais and things like that, and he said, he's written me a note. He said that he was going to send me a mug that his wife was going to paint. Dear Jeanette, beside the mug there is a variety of my homemade artisan soaps. They are all made with the finest oils and fats: coconut oil, olive oil, almond oil, ghee and cocoa butter. Yours sincerely, Anna, and of course Magnus from Green Machine Sweden. These are the soaps. Oh my gosh. Let's look at the mug first. How lovely. I do want you to check out his channel. We chat to each other all the time. He's a wonderful friend. He really is, and he's lovely. And look at that. And that. Isn't that just, thank you, the Enthusiastic Gardener. Amazing. And let's have a look at the soaps. They smell incredible. Oh gosh, they do. They do. I'm very, very touched. Incredible. I can definitely smell ginger. Thank you very much. Now I am going to take my cup, my Swedish cup, put it in some British tea, and I'm going to have a little walk around the garden, so please come and join me. So I'm just going to start here, the messiest part, but this is my new project, what I hope to be getting on with very soon. You may remember, if you have watched my channel for a while, we used to have boxwoods along there and down there, but we had to take them out because I suffered terribly from box tree moth and box tree caterpillar. Battled it for a couple of years really, and I gave up. So I'm going to clear this whole space. These tulips will not bloom. They are a few years old. They'll just come up blind. So everything along here I'm going to take out. And if I stand back and face the other way, this is one of my favourite views of the garden. So what I was thinking is I could put a little seat, and I think if I have a little seat here roughly, and I sit down on my imaginary seat, this would be my view. And in the summertime when the borders are full, I think this will be a lovely quiet little tucked away space. So that's my plan for this area. It's a shade garden. It doesn't get any light at all. So if I turn back round, because of these trees up here, at the moment in the middle of the day does get a little bit of sunshine, but that's only because the leaves, the sun comes from the left to the right and carries on. And while these trees are beautiful, they block all my western sun out, my afternoon sun. But anyway, that's we live with these things, Mother Nature. So that's what I'm planning for this. That's going to be my next, one of my next big jobs. And in fact, Richard is going to build me a little seat. Well, he'll tell you all about that. I won't reveal. So I just want to tell you about this apple tree I bought. Well, I called it my orchard because last February time. I found these at the supermarket. They were £6 each. Now I know I haven't had them long and there are some little buds, but I'm wondering, I'll show you further on because that's probably the best one. So let's go along. My daffodils are all coming up now. I planted 10 different varieties and I've dotted them in their own little groups around the garden. You can see the ones over in the distance. They've come up earlier because that's the area that gets the most sunshine, so that makes sense. And here, this area normally up to here, as you can see the shape of the cabin, it's the cabin's fault. This bit is in shade and then all this along here gets morning sun. So that's why this Photinia japonica is rather behind the other one on my sunny side. It's still got its little seed pod heads. They will fall off at some point. I'll show you on the other one, and new leaves will emerge in their place. We'll show you that. This lilac, this is on its last opportunity. This has one more chance to show me something good. It was 3 times the height and I chopped it down because the last 2 springs it hasn't done anything exciting. And that's the ornamus that I platted. It's still alive. This is the pear tree. This, goodness, what do you think of this? It's hardly any branches at all. I'm thinking my orchard is not a success. I don't know what to do. Please tell me, should I cut it down? I don't know. However, we have some successes. This is the most spectacular thing in my garden at the moment, in my opinion. It's my Photinia Red Robin, and I planted it last summer. So this is my very first spring seeing the gorgeous red, coppery, brown, bronze, whatever colour you want to call it, leaves coming through. I think it is just shining in this garden today. I need to prune my roses. This rose has been here for probably 30 odd years. You can tell there's some old stems. They need to go. That one there, one over in the back, they're dead. And although it's put on a lot of growth, I'm going to take it down again. It's actually not too bad. I can't really see anything crossing or damaged really, but I'm going to rejuvenate that. And you may have seen in my previous video, I pruned this flamingo tree, and I don't know why. I've got one bit sticking right up. I think I must have been looking down on it, or maybe I was just a bit worn out, so I've got to chop that off, and then that will make it a nice little rounded shape. There's the Trachycarpus. It's come through a winter. They do get a bashing in the winter, and I'm expecting the bottom fronds will start dying back, but the top ones look lovely, and I do have some special fertiliser, so I need to get on and do that. We have one clematis which has little buds, and I cleaned up this area, so the heucheras are now beginning to shine. There was a lot of dead growth around the bottom. You just take off the older leaves. You can see this one, I didn't do it, and you can see how much more messy that looks. So you just take off all the old leaves at the bottom and just give it a spruce, and you can see in the middle there's usually young, bright, colourful leaves, so I'll leave those. This is the apple tree, another part of the orchard. I really think I might take them all out, everyone. Yeah, this is the other Photinia where I said that the pom-poms fall off. They're the sticks where the pom-poms were. Those are going to fall off, and if you look at the base, you can see new leaves beginning to form, and those will start growing within a month, I would imagine. I will be pruning my hydrangea. Now I can see the beginnings of buds. I know where to go, and I will be pruning it, probably take the top third off, I would imagine. And this is the rhododendron that was over in the shady corner by the garden illusion gate, and I moved it because it just was struggling, and I think it's doing very well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And you can see these were the plant hospital candidates. This is a hydrangea little lime. I'll prune that down to those buds which are just beginning to grow halfway down the stems. This was a hibiscus rose of Sharon, and it still is. These are one of the last things to get going in your garden, hibiscus. It was struggling, so I will probably replant that. And my winter sowing project. So that's all that side. I took off all my covers. I moved the pots which were at the front garden. I'd planted them with tulips. Now the tulips are very floppy. They are the, what are they called? I forgot, I put the name down. They're very floppy, these yellow ones. You can see these ones here, very floppy, but I think that is me, user error, because I don't think I planted them quite deep enough. By the end of it, I was just ramming them in anywhere. There's my spiral topiary. You can finally see I do have two dogs. Lucy loves sunbathing. Lucy, yes, you're outside. She does love sunbathing. Now down here by my sedum autumn joy, can you see right at the base the beginnings of the sweet peas which Richard planted a couple of weeks ago? There's two there, and there's one round there. So I'm really hoping it will be so nice. He would be delighted if they grow. There's some more daffodils. So each little grouping is going to be a different variety. This is the success of my orchard, and I will keep this. It's a Stella cherry. I like that, and I think I like it because it's of its topiary form shape, little standard shape. But you can see all the buds. I don't know if I'll get blossoms. That would be very nice. So it's all looking very nice, and we have alliums as well. They'll come up in a couple of, well, I think maybe May and June alliums. More tulips and daffodils. And then this is a plum tree, which I'm never going to get plums because I've made it into I keep cutting it into a little ball shape because I just cannot help myself. There's another rose there. That's my only David Austin, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous pink. And I will be pruning that as well. You can see down the bottom there, there's some little spindly bits. They need to come off. And I'll take that right down. And I wanted to grow it into this obelisk to make a flower fountain because it does actually grow very tall. And I have two more sections to add on to this fountain. So that will go up. And then hopefully the flowers will flop over the side into a fountain. We shall see. And if we just go over here, you can see my very wonky Van Gogh Tuscan totem pole cypress, and it was flopped over for months. I neglected it. So I've decided to put it in here with these beautiful little minnow daffodils. Every now and then I'm coming and sort of trying to bend it backwards. I could stake it. In fact, I probably should stake it. But we'll see how that does. And with my climbing roses, which I pruned and trained drastically very recently, you can see what I mean about if you put them horizontally, you'll get the lateral shoots all growing upwards, and those are the ones that will have the flowers. So it is working. So I'm confident I did that right, because I've seen a couple of other videos now. A really good one to watch is Teresa at Gardening on the West Fork. More tulips. Just a little collection of bulbs everywhere. There's the other rose, the climber, and again you can see I only did this, I don't think it was last weekend, I think it was the weekend before. So they're responding well. And little crocuses and little scilla just beginning to emerge. So there we are, that is my garden. It's the end of March, it's the 26th today. Clocks change tonight, which is most exciting. We get an extra hour in the gardens at the end of the day. What more could we ask for? And I have a beautiful cup of lovely tea in my wonderful new cup. Don't forget to check out Magnus at Green Machine Sweden, and I will see you all next week. Take care, have fun in your gardens. I'm Jeanette, I am the enthusiastic gardener. Thank you for watching. Bye.